stuff, too. Here's another big story today. Big race to watch in Virginia. Voters now heading to the polls in the high-stakes governor's election there. The Democrat, Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam, facing off against the Republican Ed Gillespie. President Trump this morning tweeting support from overseas. Quote, Ed Gillespie will totally turn around the high crime and poor economic performance of Virginia. MS-13 and crime will be gone. Vote today ASAP. Byron York, Chief Political Correspondent, Washington Examiner, with me ASAP. And Byron, good day to you.
Good morning, Bill.
Simply break it down. What does this race mean for Democrats? Start there.
Well, it's a big deal for them because it will show whether they have momentum going into the 2018 midterms. Remember, we have had a number of special election races across the country to fill open House seats left by Republicans who joined the Trump administration. Democrats did not do very well in those, and the test here is to see whether unhappiness with President Trump is sufficient to put another Democrat in office in Virginia.
If Gillespie wins today, what would that mean for Republicans?
Well, it would be a very big deal for them because it would show that Democrats don't have that momentum, and it's a bit of a referendum on President Trump. Remember back in 2009, it was the last time we had a new president. Barack Obama had just been elected, and we had governor's races in Virginia and in New Jersey. And the fresh new faces of Bob McDonnell and Chris Christie won those two races, which was widely interpreted as a sign that Republicans were not happy campers in the new Obama administration, and indeed, Republicans won a really big victory in those midterms the next year, 2010.
Yep. Here's another tweet from overseas now. The president writes this, quote, Ralph Northam will allow crime to be rampant in Virginia, he writes. He's weak on crime, weak on our great vets, anti-Second Amendment, and has been horrible on the Virginia economy. Vote Ed Gillespie today. Is Gillespie running on the president's message or just kind of, sort of? What is it, Byron?
Go with kind of, sort of. First of all, Ed Gillespie is as establishment Republican as you can get. A former chairman of the RNC, a veteran of the W. Bush White House, longtime lobbyist. I mean, he is a establishment Republican and Washington creature. On the other hand, I think he sees which way the wind is blowing among a lot of the Republican electorate, has clearly embraced some of the president's positions on social issues, things like Confederate monuments, and not a social issue, but crime. He's been very, very strong on that. So I think what you're going to see is if Gillespie were to win, and remember, he's been behind in the polls almost the whole time.
But closing is, he'll make the case.
Closing, it's been closing, but the last 10 polls in the RNC, excuse me, the Real Clear Politics average, Northam has been ahead in 9 out of those 10.
Thank you, Byron. Interesting to watch later tonight. Thanks for that analysis in D.C.
Thank you.
All right.